Hello and welcome to episode 17 of this Let's Play for Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead. My name is Vormithrax, or Vorm, and I'm your host. And in this episode, we actually need to head back over into town again. I need to get close enough to that fire that it actually continues to burn. And what I mean by that is the game uses a reality bubble. In order for it not to collapse into just a pile of junk, the simulation can only actually have events running within a certain radius around your character. So effectively there's a bubble of reality that goes about 3 map spaces. Let me bring the map up so you can see what I mean. So from our base here, we're in this spot. So 1, 2, 3. There's a bubble about this big in which time moves normally. Everything outside of that bubble, time is basically frozen. So while we set this building on fire, it's currently frozen, and it will stay frozen until we get closer to that fire area. So if I want that to completely burn down the building and finish off the wasps, I actually need to get a little closer so that time can pass. So I need to go over this area and do something while time goes by so that finishes burning out, because I want to get some resources from the smoking ruins and make sure that everything gets killed over there. Now it is daytime, so I need to be a little careful because I don't want to get spotted by a whole bunch of zombies in the town area. Most of them should have been attracted by the fire in this area. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some stuff from our inventory piles, work my way over to this office that we had explored out earlier, and see if there's any raw materials I can tear apart in there. Some rags, clothing we can disassemble, anything like that we can bring back to our base. And I'll just do that for a little bit while I wait for that fire to finish burning out. And we might head south to take a look at the other houses to see if there's anything down there we need to grab. We still occasionally hear zombies wandering into that minefield, so we'll just kind of take a peek and see how things look and make some decisions. But I really need to get close enough to that fire for it to finish burning out. So that's kind of our goal, and I've got a few other things I want to start concentrating on. Now that we've got a decent amount of food and water, I want to spend some time evaluating a few things for our weaponry and clothing, as well as do some reading. I want to get some of our skills up by reading through some of these books. That's going to take some time, so some days will probably pass while we just do some studious reading of our different books, and hopefully get some useful skills leveled up. That's critically important for several reasons, and so that's kind of the plan. And then eventually I do want to actually go talk to our NPC. I'll give some background and information on how they can be used, and I'll have this guy hopefully join our group and start moving around with us. I want to include that in this tutorial series so new players kind of get an idea of what the possibilities are. And then finally, another objective I have is I do want to eventually get up to the recreations or the evac center up here and take a look. Our quest is actually pointing us up that direction. I don't know if it's infested with zombies or if there's actual survivors up there that we can work with, and I'd like to go actually find out. I think we've got enough skill and equipment that it's worth the trip. So first things first though, let's make sure as always that our inventory is set. We've got a decent amount of open space available. We're okay on clothing. We're aware of the damage to these pieces, but I need some rags in order to get them repaired. So I've got my weapons. We need to wield our knife spear first. That's our primary hand-to-hand weapon. We've got our throwing sticks and our emergency submachine gun if something really bad comes after us. And the cash cards don't weigh much of anything. Got our standards down here. I'm going to keep carrying the MP3 player for the moment. We might start playing it to get our morale up. It'll burn some battery, but it'll be worth it. And we've got some food, our medical items, and a bit of thread. So I think we are good to go. So let's go ahead and head on over that direction. Take a last look here. No, let's not bring any of that. So yeah, let's actually take care of our hunger and thirst before we take off. So we'll move up here. We'll say to eat. Look for our gallon jug of clean water. And eat some of that cooked meat that we've got ready to go. We're full. One more drink of water should get us full and slaked. Alright, so we're good to go there. We are also tired, so I've got to take that into consideration. I'm also trying to balance the time of day, and I know we're going to need to sleep, so I'm just trying to get a feel for what I want to do when. So let's zoom out and make our way over to that office building. Oh, we've got a giant wasp on the viewfinder. Two of them, actually. Diagonal down south. One's lightly injured, one is uninjured. Alright. Well, hopefully our fire is going to take care of the larger problem of them continuously generating out of that building. And I want to peek around the corner here. That wasp is coming towards us, possibly. If he does, we'll just kill him. Alright, so we can see the fire burning over there. I'm going to take a look at it here. So, big old fire still burning. So I think we're close enough now that the fire is actually active. So if I hit the enter key, yeah, we can see it's active, so you can see it moving over there. So we're close enough. So we're going to explore this building. We've already got mainly the loot out of there that we needed, but there might be some raw materials that we can break down in here. If nothing else, I'll start breaking apart chairs and tables and things like that. The desks and chairs. I could take apart the locker for some metal items. That was the electronic cigarette we pulled the batteries out of. Bathroom, we've already got all the material there. Let's go ahead and wield. Let's make a bit of noise, but hopefully not more than that raging fire across the street is making. And I'm gonna get the crowbar out of there. Apparently I didn't grab it. There we go. Now we'll wield the crowbar. And we're going to smash up the locker. Okay, that's a really tough locker compared to usual. And we'll set this side to all, this side to the cart. Alright, a little confused. Why is it not showing? Must have a filter. Yeah, I've got a filter going. So you want to be careful when things like this happen where I've got it set to all, but it's not showing me anything. The reason is down here. Earlier, I set the filter to search for something, so it still has that filter in the entry, or in the buffer. So you have to delete that filter out so that you'll be able to see your items. Alright. Oh yeah, the rubber boots. I'm glad we came back over here. So rubber boots, we don't need the broom, but we will grab all this raw material. And let's go ahead and smash apart the refrigerator. All of this is good building material. I don't think the sink gives enough to make it worth the effort. I believe if I smash that vending machine, an alarm's going to go off, so we're going to avoid that. We'll just keep picking up raw material. This is the chair. Oh yeah, the chair with the casters that are in good condition. If I weren't dragging a cart, I would drag that home with me. And we can't get into that floor safe yet. I think the rest of these are just offices with computers. Alright. Wow, you'd think a crowbar would take apart a computer a little faster than that. Alright, we've filled up. Oh, I guess we haven't filled it up. Let's take a look. We'll peek out the front door here. How are things looking across the street? I don't remember. Did I know there was an ambulance in front of that building? I don't remember if that's what I saw over there. So the fire's almost out. Still a bunch of wasp nests that survived. Man. Huh. Well, I may just have to go deal with those things. I was hoping that the fire would take care of them all, but a bunch of them survived. So the fire's still going on, and I think there's I think there's residual heat to worry about, so I'll keep doing what I'm doing over here for now. Didn't see anything else out there. That's actually a good sign. No monsters in sight, so maybe they all piled into the fire and have killed themselves. I'm kind of curious. Let's go take a look. We've got a hazmat zombie way off to the north, so he's no danger. He might come looking for us, though. Giant wasp and a skeleton. Wasp, everything is pretty far away. Trying to get over to this ambulance and see if there's anything in here. It's got some items showing in the back. Usually these are medical items, which is why I'm making the trip over here. We'll let go of our cart, hop in the ambulance, and get some items. 3 bandages, alright. And cool, more disinfectant and a syringe of adrenaline. Alright, not bad. What's the condition of this ambulance? 7% and 7%, so we can get it started and drive it if everything else is working up. No controls, so we're not going to take it anywhere. I don't think we have the mechanic skill to repair controls yet. It's going to take some leveling up in our mechanics before that's possible. So, and I'm not going to worry about tearing seat belts or anything else out of here. Alternator's in pretty bad shape, but the engine's in good condition, so something to remember. But not something we're going to deal with right now. Alright, let's kind of poke our head down here and see if we can grab a few things. So the rain's probably helping things, so nails and rocks. So we actually need a bunch of rocks, so this is going to be helpful. You only had a shovel, yeah. You need a shovel in order to dig up all the rubble. I'm just going to kind of work my way around the edges. You'll see that the very edges have a lot of these nails and rock piles. I'm going to grab those and not worry about these big rubble fields. It takes a lot of stamina and time to start digging through rubble, so I think I'll just move down a bit, hit this, and then tell it to pick it all up into the cart. And we'll just keep doing that until the cart is all full up. And we do have the fire continuing down there, so we want to be a little cautious. Alright, how are we looking? We got 13 rocks so far. We can never have enough nails. As soon as we start doing any kind of construction, we're going to want all the nails we can get a hold of. Alright, still nothing near us. That's a good sign. I think the fire attracted a whole bunch of the local critters, and they all dogpiled into the fire and got themselves burnt to a crisp. And crawler zombies are found? No. So we'll continue grabbing. How are we doing? We're up to 24 rocks, great, and 108 nails, some 2x4s, so things are looking good in that direction. It's not taking up all that much space either, so we can grab a whole bunch more. Let's see what's in this pile here. Shirt, cargo shorts, raincoat, it's all filthy, so I'm not too concerned about it. Just keep working our way around the edge, grabbing materials. And you can see why the advanced inventory is pretty handy once you know how to use it. All I have to do is tap 2 keys and it grabs everything around me and puts them all in my pile. Oops, looks like we hit the maximum amount for our... why does it say... What I'm not understanding here, it says 8.94 out of 20.3 volume. Yet it's saying the trunk is full, so some items fell in the dirt. So something odd's going on there. think I will just call that good there. I don't have the shovel with me, and I'm not going to spend time digging through all this rubble anyway, so we're going to consider that good. So we got somebody following us now. Skeleton dog, fat zombie. I think, yep, both of them have spotted us, so we're going to have to deal with these things. So let's switch to run mode, get some distance so that we don't have too many other things dogpiling into the fight. And what do we got in here? Just a wheel, so not worried about that. We'll just keep moving. Alright, looks like we managed to avoid everything. We'll just fast move back to the base. And turn run mode back off again. Alright, so good trip. We let the fire burn mostly out. We were able to grab some of the loot that I was concerned about, so I'm happy about that. Let's turn the mode back on. We're going to make this our grabbed items. This is our raw material stockpile, so we're going to move all of that. Alright, that empties out the cart except for the rubber boots. Let's go ahead and drop those over here. Alright, so the cart is empty. Let's go ahead and leave it here for now. In our personal inventory, we grabbed a bunch of stuff as well. Alright, I think the rest of it is things we're going to keep a hold of. Yeah, looks pretty good. Alright, let's come take a look at our piles of goods here. That's our filthy pile. We're going to leave that alone for the moment. I want to take a look at this pile, though. I really haven't collected a bunch of clothes that I feel good about tearing apart for materials. Let's... Yeah, we're good. I'd like to get some rags. Actually, we can do that if let's do this. Let's tear down some more curtains. Let's start with these down here. We'll examine, tear down the curtains. Examine, tear down the curtains. We're going to leave these the way they are. Go ahead and grab the cart again. And set that to all, set that to the cart. Grab everything. And while we're here, let's go ahead and finish tearing this stuff down. Really not sure why it's taking so many hits to knock these things apart. I had expected to go a little faster with the regular tool we're using compared to the makeshift one, but however. And the box is full. Okay. Alright, this time we're gonna go this direction. And all of that, all of that, all of that. Alright, just about got everything done. Alright. So next thing we're going to do So we're actually going to grab a pretty good pile of these 2x4s. That's too many. Alright, let's do it this way. First, let's get everything unloaded again. So, this will be that, that'll be there. Alright, so what I want to find is I'm going to grab a pile of nails. Oops. Keep trying to pick a number, and that just sets the location of where we want to show inventory, not picking a number. You got to hit M to pick a number. Let's grab 60 nails, and there we go. We'll grab 22x4s. And what tools am I holding? What do we have here? We've got our hammer. Alright, then we're going to come over to this window, and I'm going to go to the build menu. That's Shift 8. And you can see there's a bunch of options lit up here. We can build a window, board up a wooden door, board up a window, and that's what we're actually going to do. So we're going to pick board up a window, and it's done in stages. You can see here the stages and what effectively happens. So the first stage is going to take fabrication 1, takes 20 minutes, takes a tool with hammering of 2 or more, and takes 4 2x4s and 8 nails. And then you can basically reinforce and reinforce to make it harder and harder for anybody to break through that window. So we're going to do board the window up that direction. And the window is boarded, and it no longer will let any light through. I don't plan on using this side of the survival shelter anyway. I just want to get these boarded up so nothing can peek in at me. And since we took the curtains down, so we're going to do the same thing. Pick the board up window. Don't care about the dog. More. Hope I have enough. Don't care. Alright. So we've got all the windows boarded up on the west and south side of the building. For now, that's good enough. I can just close these still, so that puts me in darkness if I need it, but we'll open that up. Alright, taking a look over here. We're at focus 72. We're tired. We'll heal up that damage when we go to sleep. And what I want to do now is take a look at my morale. So the wet negative factor is almost gone. So we need to get happy. I need to get my focus pushed up as high as I can, because my next thing I'd like to do is take some time to actually do some learning. We're going to read some books and try to get our skill levels up. The two primary ways you can level your character's skills up. Let me bring the list up. So this is the skill list here. The two ways you can level skills are either perform an action that uses that skill, or by reading books that are associated with the skill. So reading books is by far the faster way of doing it, but it's not always easy to get a hold of books for the particular skills that you might be interested in learning. Also, books come in various levels where they will only raise your skill to a certain level, and you have to meet certain requirements for the higher level ones. So it takes a bit of scavenging and searching and traveling to really get a good supply of books. Hopefully you can locate a bookstore or a library or big manors. Rich people manors have big libraries in them sometimes with a whole bunch of books. So quest for books is a pretty popular pastime in surviving. And like I said, alternately, we could practice our tailoring by actually building clothes, crafting clothes, or repairing clothes. So all of these things can be raised in those ways. So we're going to take advantage of our book supply, though. So we've only got a little bit of daylight left. It's already 16:36, so 4:30 in the afternoon. So we're not going to get a whole bunch of reading in by the time the sun goes down, but we've got a few light sources we can take advantage of. And worst case scenario, we can stand next to the computer screen here, and it's dimly lit. It's harder to read in that light, but it can be done. So next thing we're going to look at then is how to raise our morale, because we want our focus to be as high as possible. As I mentioned in one of the early episodes, that focus is a multiplier for the XP that you earn for any actions. So think of that as a percentage number. So if you perform an action that would normally gain you 100 experience points, if you've got a focus of 72, you're only going to get 72% of that, or 72 experience points awarded to you. So if you manage to push your focus over 100, you're actually earning bonus XP. So you want to get that focus as high as you possibly can and keep it there. Now, while you're reading books, your focus is going to drain. So it usually is an effort and a strain to study really hard, and your focus will drain away while you're reading. So you do everything you can to get that number pumped up before you actually start reading. So what we can do to make ourselves a little happier is eat some food that's going to make us happy. We're going to listen to an MP3 player, and or we can play our guitar. The music will also improve our mood to a certain level. There are certain pharmaceutical methods you can use, but we're going to avoid those because our guy has got some addiction issues. So let's go take a look at our food pile. I don't think we'll need our cart, so we can leave that here. Nothing in that I'm going to need. Let's grab the 2x4s and nails and get those dropped off in the pile here. We'll keep our thread. Alright, so let's move up and take a look at our food pile. If we hit eat, you can see here these have turned yellow, meaning they are going to spoil soon, and right there it says they're going to spoil in 8 hours. So that's part of the food spoilage, and you got to keep an eye on that. We've still got a bunch of meat that we harvested from coyotes and dogs that are just sitting there, and it's not going to last forever either. So we might have to get a fire lit and get some of that cooked up to get some of that eaten before it goes bad. So that's constant struggle for food, and that's where food preservation is going to become important. And that's one of the reasons we went and grabbed a bunch of rocks, is we're going to build a charcoal kiln if we can get our fabrication up to level 3. So we got a few projects to take care of. So what can we eat that's going to make a little more happy? So if you look in the joy column here, we're going to try to find things that have a high factor of joy. So just scrolling down, you can see right here, aluminum can of beer. Well, that's going to give us plus 10 to joy. And what else? We got sugary cereals. Plus 20 for the brandy. And that's looking like the highest numbers. So let's do this. Let's eat some cereal. And what else can we eat? I don't know if I want to start drinking alcohol. Let's have some cookies. I have some cheese. And the pickings are getting kind of slim. We're already full. We better not try to eat anymore. So, as you can see, those get us some positive modifiers, so that's going to increase our focus gain. And we've got a towel we could dry off, but the modifier is not that high for the negative right now, so I'm not really worried about that. So, do we still have our MP3 player on us? We do. So, we can activate the MP3 player, and you can see the message here. You put in the earbuds and start listening to music. And this won't show anything yet. It actually builds up over time. So if I just let time pass, I'm just going to hit the number 5 key, and you can see the time passing up here as I tap away at it. What's going to happen, you'll see a message start appearing down here occasionally about the music that you're listening to. None yet, but we've got some thunder. Let's check our morale. You can see here we now got a plus 20 points for music. And I think that's as high as it goes. We'll let a little more time pass. Check again. Yeah, that's as high as it'll go. It'll start to degrade over time. So I'm going to turn off the MP3 player for now. That only burned up 1 point. We're going to pick up the guitar. And we've got enough light right here to go ahead and read. But we need to be adjacent to our books, so we'll stand here. This is lit up, and we've got the book pile right there. So if we do Shift R to read, 2 of the books are in red, so we need to do the initial evaluation of those. So guns and ammo brings marksmanship to 1, requires intelligence of 2, so it's a low-level book.
only gives a couple of crafting recipes. Let's check the other one out. Tactical handgun, I think, is going to be a little tougher. Nope, that just brings handguns to 1, but I don't think we have any handgun skills, so that'll actually be decent for us. Alright, so now when we hit Shift R to read, you'll notice there's color differences. So these are gray. These indicate that they're not going to provide any kind of bonus, any kind of skill up. The reason for that is we've already got a higher than level 1 fabrication, so we can't learn anything in regards to increasing our fabrication skill because we've already exceeded that ability. Now, it'll actually be fun for us to read, so we could read it for the entertainment value, and it's quick to read in this lighting condition and our stats, but not really worth it in this circumstance. So, what we'll do is the mechanics of 3 is important, cooking's always important, getting your cooking skill up, marksmanship and handguns. So let's do marksmanship first. It's only 5 minutes to read, and it's got actually a fun factor, it's got some recipes, so we've got a few options there. But before we do, I am going to wield, and we're going to wield the acoustic guitar, and then we're going to activate way over here. We're going to activate our acoustic guitar, and you can see it's going to say play. Alright, so we're playing our acoustic guitar. So if we take a look at our mods, see it had already degraded to 17, but now that we're playing our guitar, it's going to move back up again. So it's going to do that. We could move around and it'll play the guitar while we move around as long as we have that wielded and activated. And you'll see it's moved back to 20, plus 20. And we're going to go ahead and read guns and ammo, and we're going to read until we gain a level. And if you watch over here, you'll see some progress messages about the percentage that we're increasing. Now the only problem is it's also playing the guitar, and we get just a massive amount of messages about that, so it's hard to see the numbers, but you can see here 86, 92, 99, and then we leveled up. So we increased our marksmanship to level 1, and it tells you can no longer learn from guns and ammo. So, if we bring up our reading list, guns and ammo has now been yellowed out. The yellow color indicates that you can no longer gain skill up XP from that book, but it does have recipes that you have not yet learned to memorize. So by having those books nearby when you're crafting, you can automatically use those books for the recipes that they include. Once you've leveled up further and or you build those items and it'll give you a message that you've memorized the recipe eventually, then you can put these away or burn them or do whatever you want with them. But as long as they're yellow, they're still useful just for their recipe purposes. So let's go to the tactical handgun. That should be another pretty quick one. I think we'll have enough time before the sun goes down, possibly. Nope, sun just went down. We got to 55% before it became too dark to read. So we have two choices. We can step next to the computer where it's now cloudy lighting condition, and we can read, but it's going to take longer for each attempt. So we're not going to skill up as quickly. Alternatively, we've got some light sources like flashlights, we've got an oil lantern, we could light the fire, we've got a few things we could do to get some light so that we can read faster. So let's do this. Let's pick up the other two books that have some skill up potential. And let's move over towards our fire. So we'll use the advanced inventory, all, pick the north spot, and let's move two heavy sticks. And we picked the wrong location. We want them to go here. Alright. And we're going to activate our lighter right there. So now we've got some light, and it's bright light, one space in every direction. Check our morale. You can see our focus is up to 90, so we're still not even up to the 100 or even level for our experience. So we're going to go ahead and get some reading done though. So let's read. Yeah, we're going to finish off the tactical handgun. And you can see our percentages going there. Alright, we're up to level 1 for the handgun. We can no longer learn any more experience from that, but we still have recipes that it could teach us. Our focus has managed to bounce up to 94, but we're also very thirsty. So let's do this. Let's consume some of our water. Do that again. And we're getting a little low there. We've got a fire going, so why don't we go to the crafting menu, food, and let's boil up some water. I think we were down to 5. It'll hold 15, so let's make 10. Pour into a container, gallon jug. Alright, so that'll make sure we've got some water going. Let's also get some food cooked up. And I am going to cook some more of the raw meat. We've got lots of it. Let's do 8. Alright, so we've got that cooked up. We will eat some cooked meat. And that finishes off the batch we had in our inventory. So we are not full yet, so we're gonna keep eating the cooked meat. Alright, now we're full and slaked and our fire went out, so our choices are to drop another stick on the fire, light it up, and do some more reading. Let's take a look at our options. It tells us it's too dark to read here. I'll go stand over here just so I can see what's available. Alright, so our guns and ammo and tactical handgun are done. We could drop those back on the ground. We've got the sushi made easy and under the hood. Both are pretty important. Getting mechanics to 3 is a pretty important number for mechanics. I believe at level 3 you can then start taking cars apart a lot more reliably. All the different components, you can start removing them, and it gains you experience as well as the raw materials or the components. So that one actually is one I want to do. And the only other one we have is the cooking, and that will end our reading abilities. So we're going to be very tired pretty soon. We might stick it out here another full day because it's already coming up on midnight time frame. So we're definitely not going to be leaving our house this evening to go raiding in the town. So let's do this. I think let's just read right here next to the computer. I don't want to burn any more of our wood supply up, and we'll just read right here. So let's do mechanics, and we'll say until we gain a level. And we're at 118 focus, so we are now gaining 18% additional experience above the normal, so that's a good thing. And you can see it's dropping now. Alright, now we got the message telling us that we feel tired. So what's happening here is if you say yes to continue, your focus is going to drop into the toilet here in just a second. As soon as I answer this question, when you're very tired, you really can't focus, so it's basically not worth continuing. So I'm going to say no, or I'm going to say yes. It's asking us if we want to stop reading. So yes, we want to stop reading. You can see now focus just dropped in half, dropped to 60. We are dead tired, so we actually do need to stop and rest. So we're still full, and yeah, we probably don't need to do any eating or drinking before we go to sleep. We are going to activate the guitar. That stops playing the guitar, so can't play the guitar while we try to sleep. Other than that, let's go ahead and drop these books that we're not going to be using again. And we'll pop down into our basement and take a nap. So shift 4 to go to sleep. And we're dead tired. I'm just going to let it sleep as long as my guy wants. So he's going to sleep until he wakes on his own. We'll hit yes, and you'll see our hit points are now refreshing. So we've got ourselves completely healed up. Time is rolling. It's already 8 a.m. We are now hungry and thirsty, and we woke up. Alright. Check our condition. We're back to base morale of 100, so that's good. We've got no negative effects other than a little bit of thirst and hunger. And we've got some skill ups that we've been working on. So let's head back upstairs. Alright, the sun's come up, so now we've got to take advantage of that. It's 9:49 in the morning. Let's first get some food and water. Go ahead and eat some of our cooked meat. Many as we need to get full. And we'll drink out of our jug of clean water. And I should have not eaten until I was full. I wanted to actually eat some of this sugary cereal and stuff, so we'll go ahead and fill up on the water. And then as soon as our full status goes away, we'll munch out on some cookies and cereals to get the skills back up, or get the focus back up again. So let's activate the guitar again, and then we're going to read. Back to our mechanics book. Read until we gain a level. Looks like we're gaining about 6%, sometimes 8% per pulse. So there we go. Alright, it's now 1400 in the daytime, so 2:14 p.m. So you can see, if you accumulate a bunch of books and you plan on reading them to their full extent, you're going to be sitting in place for a while. It's going to be days or even a week maybe that's going to go by really quickly, game time wise. So you want to make sure you've stocked up on food and water before you do this, so that you can get a good session of reading and learning in. So the book is now no longer going to be good for the skill up purposes, so we'll go ahead and drop that. And this last one, we've only got a cooking skill of 1 currently. So we've got cooking 1, 38% towards level 2. So this last book will get us all the way to cooking 4. So it's going to take a little while for that to get us all the way to 4. But that's going to open up a whole bunch of recipes for us to be able to cook more nutritious foods. So it's probably worth it to get it to 4. I'm just not sure it's worth it right this instant. Let's go ahead and read and get it to 2 at least. So we'll go there. We'll spend one more day-night cycle here doing this, see how far we can get him. Getting close. Lots of dogs outside. Alright, so it made it to level 2. And we're at 17:30, so we're going to lose the light in a few hours, but we should be okay for the most part. Let's go ahead and eat some more cooked meat, and this time I'm not going to go to the full status. We will drink though. Alright, and for eating we're going to go ahead and take a look at that happiness column. Let's have some more sugary cereal. Sure, eat the pickle. Pickle had quench value, which is what was giving me that message just now. Fried seeds, eat some pretzels. And some potato chips. Alright, so we got a bunch of minor bonuses. We're a little overheated, but that's alright. Alright, so we're in the light. Stupid dog's gonna keep triggering the message, but that's alright. So read, book, read till we gain a level. We'll see how much we get before the sun goes down. There goes the sun. Alright, what do we make it to? 60%. So let's go ahead and move up. Read again. And you can see we're tired again already. Hopefully we make it to the level before we get to the dead tired status. Come on, lucky percentages. Get us to the next level. Alright, we made it to 3, so I'm happy with that. So we're at almost midnight time frame, so let's go ahead and drop the book. Didn't quite get all the way to 4, but that will give us some options. So we're hungry again. Let's go ahead and eat some more of our cooked meat and drink some more of our clean water. Alright. And I think what we'll do is we're going to call it there for this episode. So we made some progress. Didn't get too much exploration done, but we got the fire investigated, got some raw materials from the rubble, came back to our base and did some inventory management as well as some learning. So always good to do some learning whenever you can. Can't stress enough just how important it is to raise your skills. You're going to find it's a lot easier to operate when you've got access to more recipes and can do a lot more and a lot easier. Raising those skills has a lot of effects. You can look at the details on the skills by highlighting them on this list here. So for cooking, it mentions your skill in combining food ingredients to make other tastier food items that may also be used in certain chemical mixtures and other more esoteric tasks. Whereas mechanics, skill in engineering, maintaining and repairing vehicles and other mechanical systems, this skill covers the craft of items with complex parts and plays a role in the installation of bionic equipment. Bionic equipment. That's fun to play with. We'll get a chance to see what some of that is here pretty soon. Some of my buddies up at that power substation, those shock zombies, have bionic modules implanted in them quite often. So if we can get them killed without getting ourselves dead, we might be able to harvest some bionic modules and get them installed in our own body. But you want to generally have a high mechanic skill and a high first aid skill to do that, so that's another reason why we're raising things. But just like I was trying to say, you can work your way through this list and it'll give you a pretty good idea of just what these are affecting in-game. So, appreciate you watching the episode. Hope you're enjoying the series, and if you are, please do make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons so you can see some future episodes. It helps me know who's liking what so I can tailor some content for you, and I hope to see you in the future episodes. Have a good night, and bye-bye.